Welcome back to another video. So today we have another UTA matchup for you. This time going up against Boa Hancock. I know that Boa is not particularly a powerful deck right now, but she is relevant. She does show up in a lot of tournaments. So I just wanted to play UTA into some of the OP07 decks. So first two turns looking pretty slow for both sides here. UTA doesn't really have a 2-Don play, and Boa not seeing the Doflamingo means that she's just gonna swing in for 8 here. So I swing in for 5. I opt not to be greedy with my leader ability, just because I know that Boa plays a bunch of puddings. And me deciding not to mulligan early on tells him that I do have a pretty solid hand. But here I made a weird play with the Brook, deciding to play down the Chopper with him, just because Brook didn't have a valid target in my hand. It was either the Brook and Chopper, or just the single Sanji that I accidentally dropped earlier. But yeah, I wanted to play around this pudding. I know Boa's run at least 3 or 4 copies. And I think that especially early on, Sanji's not going to be too effective. Considering I want to refill my hand, especially after the pudding drop. So going into my 6-Don turn, his board is actually not too threatening, which is good for us. And so I decide to turn my Brook sideways, because if he wanted to swing in with the pudding, he would have to invest Don to do so. And swinging 7 into leader, that connects, which is really good for me. And then being able to draw more with the Nami ability here after dropping her. I think here I'm deciding whether I want to be greedy and grab a new Genesis or just a 2K, but I decided to grab Sanji just because I did grab the Luffy off of the leader ability, so didn't really need too much top end. So here, Chase decides to bottom deck my Chopper, actually, for some reason. I think he wanted to get in for all of my board, but me having so many cards in hand, I think that was a pretty easy block, or easy counter, just because of 5k swing. I don't have to invest too much to protect him there. But 7-Don available. It's definitely just a Luffy play. Deciding which I should drop down with him, but I think I was in an awkward position where I had Brook and a random like Chopper again, and so I just dropped the Zoro instead here. So Luffy is a really, so when you're going up against Boa, 7 drops are actually really tough for her to deal with, because she wants to save her red rocks for your bigger bodies, unless they play the variant where you play the 9-drop Mihawk, but that's not as popular in the Boa decks. So if they don't have that 9-drop Mihawk, then they would need to invest a lot of Don or a lot of resources to deal with just the Luffy. So he starts off swinging in 6 with the pudding into my Brook. I decided to let him go just because if he wants to swing into life here, I wanted to get the extra draw, so let that go through. And him dropping down the Jinbei into Moria, I'm feeling pretty safe at this point, because Jinbei, as games goes on, actually loses value. because dropping 2 5 bodies when I'm going into my 10 Don turn is not too threatening. But that being said, with 10 Don available, I do have a lot of power to play with here. So I think I swung 7 into his leader here. I want to dwindle down his hand, especially playing the Jinbei into Moria tells me that he doesn't have too much top end or boas in his hand, so I can start really pressuring the small cards out of his hand here. So I swing in 2 7s at lead, and getting the I'm invincible off of leader effect. Really bad news for him. And then yeah, just dropping 2 Uta blockers here just to make sure I can keep my strong swings alive for the following turn. And with only 1 life remaining, I think it's pretty much writings on the wall at this point. So I wonder what his out could be, because even with a 10 drop Kaido, him bouncing the Luffy and one of the Uta blockers, he still won't be able to get rid of the Zoro here. But starts swinging at life, and I try to defend here. Yep, and the 10 drop Kaido actually does come down, bouncing the Luffy and Uta to my hand, but showing that I'm invincible last turn. Should be able to just swing in 6, get a 2k out of his hand, and swing in 2 12s to end the game here. That's exactly what I do, swinging in for 6, and then swinging in for 12, and swinging in for 12 again for game here. And he just doesn't have it, so that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.